This is Political Psychology, and I'm your professor, Dr. Patrick Stewart. In this lesson, the first thing to consider is that we humans are trying to hit a moving target when it comes to cues and signals. This is especially with modern technologies affecting our politics. This has immense implications. We know there is a mismatch with how we select leaders, with a tendency of the mass media to focus on some attributes of leadership at the expense of others. Perhaps more disturbing is that these other attributes may be more salient for dealing with issues in the modern world. Namely, there is a focus on the competitive, agonistic types of leadership preferred when addressing external threats. This, however, is at the expense of the more affiliative broaden and build and tend and befriend strategies that we see are increasingly important in our interconnected world. With this as a jumping off point, I first consider what grand theory, in this case evolutionary theory, can tell us. From this point onwards, I will focus not necessarily on the tools of media manipulation, but instead the receiver of this information and how they are prone to be deceived. I do so by using a framework that considers the micro-momentary processing of stimuli, the componential processing model of emotion appraisal. From there, I will consider what is going on in the field by presenting findings regarding doctored video. Signals can be seen as specific adaptive actions that, when produced by one organism, causes a reaction in another organism. As a result, posture, body movements, and facial displays, as well as vocal qualities, all influence how others respond to communicating individuals. These responses might not be visible, but communication is about influencing others around you. Haptics, in other words, touching behavior, is another form of communication which leads to an age-old question. Why do politicians shake hands and kiss babies? Probably because it's more acceptable than kissing hands and shaking babies. But there might also be some pertinent yet hidden information in both those activities. First, let's take the shaking of hands. The haptics of handshaking plays a role in evaluation of personality traits through how strong or weak the grip is, how warm or cold the hand is, and how dry or clammy the skin feels. These qualities, taken together, are seen as possibly related to extroversion and negatively related to neuroticism and shyness by those shaking the hand. At the same time, handshakes may influence hiring decisions as the most powerful variable after controlling for personality traits, gender, dress, and physical appearances. As a result, political figures attempt to develop handshaking skills that communicate dominance. In some cases, this is subtle. In other cases, not so subtle. In the video that follows, we see examples of handshaking by Donald Trump early in his administration.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, everybody. Again, I want to thank everybody for being here. I want to thank Mr. Prime Minister. What an honor. What a great honor it is. And let's go to Florida. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Very nice. I appreciate that very much.
Thank you.
Mr. President, are you going to answer any questions about your associated contact with the Russians during the campaigns? Mr. President, please bring up the Holocaust.
Thank you very much. Great honor. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you all very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Not to remove Bashar al-Assad, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you all very much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all very much. Thank you. Thank you very much.
On the tape, sir. Can you just
Call me
confirm
commit
their
perjury?
existence?
Mr. President, how can he be a liar and vindicate you?
Państwu. Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody, very much.
And important for all peoples. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I like him a lot. First of all, I want to thank our Vice President. Thank you very much, everybody. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Mr. Prime Minister, thank you. Thank you.
For their part, cues change behavior incidentally, not as a result of intentional signaling. Capacity cues such as height, size, and facial characteristics affect how we evaluate public figures visually, and whether we are willing to favor them over other competing political figures. In other words, these things indicate to others what the public figure, or for that matter anyone possessing these characteristics, is capable of. For instance, those individuals seen as taller and heavier, in other words larger and more formidable, might be perceived as more capable of responding to external threats. Thus, if one supports the status quo, these public figures are seen as more likely to preserve it. On the other hand, the larger, more formidable figures might likewise be seen as more likely to be able to forcibly change the status quo. We see how the size of candidates subtly influences perceptions of their abilities.